Welcome back to this another live session, traders, for the first session of the week, and looking at some of the instrument currently showing trading opportunity here in this market. Welcome back to the live session for the first session of this week. Coming up, FOMC, and in this FOMC, looking at this market to see that where potential trading opportunity in this market. And as coming up FOMC, also there is another important news coming later, early this month, next month, early first week, NFP, and the market is packed with quite a few high impact news in that area. So looking at the market structure and also looking at the price action to see that where we can find next trading opportunity. Past week, all of you guys have seen that we had an incredible trading week, and expecting this week as well to go again for another big move coming up, and would like to catch the biggest move possible after price action confirmation. And early today we see the market open with a gap here on the daily on gold that you can see, and with the gap open the price started to move. Welcome back to this live session, traders, and when you are here, say yes in the live chat. As beginning with this session, expecting that trading opportunity here in this market. We can see the market is maintaining this series of lower high here in that area, and with a series of lower high formation on gold from the daily. Now we are going to do a complete multi-time frame analysis here as gold. If you look at the bigger picture perspective, if you look at how the market is doing, we can see the market is maintaining this series of lower high in that area, and with that series of lower high formation, the price is approaching this key support level in that area, and with that key support level, expecting the market to potentially drop down further here to this support level. Ready for a big week? Say yes in the live chat if you are ready for a big week. Welcome. Welcome. All right, so have you liked this stream, guys? We are beginning the session and also beginning the day and also beginning the week. Monday is very important trading day, as in terms of Monday and Friday, these 2 days are the most volume coming in the market, and also this week is pretty important as coming up FOMC here in few minutes, so few days. Come on now, what we can see here in that area, if you look at this market, I'm looking at the daily chart, guys. This daily chart is very important because when you look at the daily market structure from the bigger picture perspective, if you look at, you can see the market is maintaining this series of lower high on the daily. So first of all, would like to see the monthly chart, and then we will be looking at the weekly and then daily and then lower time frame to see potential trading opportunity in this market. And that is where we are looking at this market to see that, especially first of all, we would like to consider the technical aspect of this market, right? And then we will be looking at the fundamental aspect of the market. So looking at the technical aspect of this market, we can see that this market from the daily, there was a breakup structure. You guys have seen that past week, there was a strong breakdown here with smaller move that we can see in a sideways fashion here in that area. And in that sideways market, right? In that sideways market, there is a sideways movement, and the market is maintaining this series of lower high from the daily that you can see. And with that series of lower high formation on gold, the market is moving in a sideways here at the moment. So first of all, looking at the bigger picture to see that where the market is heading, monthly chart, as monthly, weekly and daily higher time frame will give us clear direction, removing of the lower time frame, the noise on the lower time frame. Now if you look at that market structure, now why it is so important to look at the bigger picture, guys? Market is no different than a life, right? If you want to do anything in life, you must have look at the bigger picture. You need to look at the bigger picture, which way everything is heading. And without looking at the bigger picture, you'll never be able to reach anywhere. And similarly, the market, in the same way, if you look at the market, you need to look at the bigger picture to see that overall direction in the trend. So higher time frame will give you always a clear directional bias. Now from the higher time frame perspective, we can see that gold from the monthly is bullish. This is the monthly price action that we can see on gold. And if we look at the weekly chart, that we can see from the weekly perspective, there's gap open. We have seen that past week was from the previous weekly candle was a pullback candle. If you look at the overall, the all weekly market structure, you can see that this is the weekly market from this level, from this support level to this key high here. From the weekly perspective, that we can see this market has reached that key resistance line, where almost nearly to 9 weeks we have seen that stronger bullish impulse, right? And with that bullish impulse, past week was the first pullback candle. That means that first red candle has formed in that market, and that pullback candle, that if you look at on the weekly time frame here, that we can see that this is where there is a significant pullback candle that could bring that market back below here, even further low, to create a new lower low from the weekly chart on gold. Now if we look at the daily chart here, that on the daily time frame, this is the daily market where there is a series of lower high. If you look at from this high here, okay, and in that series of, this is the resistance line where there is a series of lower high, and there is a stronger breakdown from this level, okay, and with that breakdown here, we can see the market has dropped to that support level with a bigger move in that area from the daily, followed by this back to back. We can see that here 3 days of sideways movement, which is considered as a kind of pullback in that area. Now with that pullback, that we can see the market is still maintaining that series of lower high here on the daily time frame, and there is a gap open in this zone here on gold. And with this gap open, the market is maintaining this series of lower high, and with the gap open, what we can expect that this market to drop down here potentially to this support level for the bigger picture perspective here. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, that we are dropping down to the lower time. This is the key here, guys. This is what I always talk about, the multiple time frame analysis. And multiple time frame analysis where you can see how the market is doing in terms of higher time frame and in terms of lower time. That's the key, guys. Multiple time frame. If you guys looked at our previous weeks, some of the trade that we have opened, and in our system, in our strategy, every trade that we open based on the multiple time frame. If you look at this trade that I have already shared many of the details, and also we had a Zoom classes, we discussed that how we use the multiple time frame. Look at this trade, guys. This is a trade where all the information is the date, time, and time frame. It's 24th of October 2025. Open this trade and you can see here that M1 and M15, it uses the M15. That means that 15 minutes and 1 minute time frame, combining two time frame, giving a higher probability edge in the market. Now see the losing trade, that one also using the multiple time frame, but our goal here is to lose a very small and gain big, and that's the secret of every strategy that you can see in the market. Every successful strategy consists of this quality: smaller win, no, smaller loss, bigger win. That's what you need to focus on. Are you ready with me to take your trading to the next level? If you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream, smash the like button, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done yet. Welcome. And now the next point here is to enter, right? We want to trade every single day. Trading is freedom. You want to trade every single day. And if you are a trader who want to take your trading to the next level, look at this here, how the market is doing, creating series of lower high. There's a long wick doji. There's another doji here. Now the market has just crossed the previous session's high. There's a now we are coming to that recent time frame here in this market. So if you look at the 4-hour candle close the previous session here, the candle close in the 4-hour chart is here, and the market has crossed that high, and after crossing of this high, the price has started to drop down here, that you can see in this market. And looking at the 15-minute chart and the lower time frame, here is, guys, there was the market opened with the daily chart, as today's the first time the market opened with a gap, and there is a rejection back below in this market after the previous daily long wick doji here, that you can see the market potentially to break that low in that area, and that is where you can see the market approach that level where the price is approaching that important key resistance line where there is a high liquidity. This is a very important liquidity zone where if you look at, this is a head, left shoulder and right shoulder. We saw the head and shoulder formation on the 15-minute chart, and the market has managed to drop here completely back below. Now daily high is super important because that is where we can find that another trading opportunity here. Now if you look at the daily 4108 level, which is an important daily level, that you can see the market is potentially showing up, and in that daily level, what we can expect here for the market to test that high and then to return again back below in that direction to create a new lower low in this market. So looking at the 4-hour perspective here, now there is a fair value gap. If you look at, it's a massive bearish fair value gap. Now in that fair value gap, what we can expect for the market to potentially to trend back down here to the support level to create a new lower low in this market. So crossing that high, that you can see the market has crossed that high and then rejected potentially back below here in that area. So looking at that level, from this creating series of lower high, we see the market is maintaining that series of lower high and expecting it to create a new lower low here in that market to see where the price is potentially be heading in that market. So this is a trend line, currently the local trend line here, that expecting, if you guys look at it, you can see the market has broken that trend line completely, and as the market has broken that trend line here, and it's the price was respecting this trend line from this high here, drop to the level, break to the upside, drop to the break to the upside. The market is maintaining this series of lower high and lower low, which is in a downtrending market structure. Now in that downtrend, the price is showing up to be potentially we saw that there was a series of lower high. Now the market has just broken the trend line, right? This trend line is just been broken from the, if you look at the 15-minute chart, the market has broken out of the trend line. And with that break of the trend line, that you can see the price is crossing that high and potentially to break below here in that area, right? So this is where the resistance line, and expecting that the market to potentially break that high and then to possibly to return back below here in that area. That is what we're looking at in that market, for the price to potentially drop down here. And we are looking at in this market to retest that high and then potentially to continue to break below to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. This is where there is a high area of value in that area, and which is a key support level that you can see, expecting the market to break that high. So here we can see the short-term potentially bullish move, and that can give us possibly for another selling opportunity. As daily open with a bearish, we could see the market to trend back down here in that market. Welcome back to this another live session, traders. Now, good morning. How was your opinion for today's market? As we can see that if we look at the calendar, guys, to see that overall the market trend. So there was earlier, there was a tentative news that has been on AUD, and now tomorrow, Tuesday, there isn't many news, and then coming up on Wednesday. Now Wednesday starting off a big trend here. So if you look at the Wednesday, 29th of October, that you can see starting with AUD. Now, as Wednesday is pretty packed with quite a few high impact news, including AUD news that coming up on Wednesday, and followed by Thursday, which is basically Wednesday in NY session, which is coming up FOMC. Now I will be coming on live on FOMC, right? FOMC trading. We had also previous FOMC we have traded live in the market. Now FOMC gives higher volatility, more trading opportunity, and that's good for us to see that. And also there will be special giveaway during the FOMC, so don't miss out that when FOMC coming on live. Make sure you like this stream, subscribe to the channel, and also press the notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day, right? So in the meantime, traders, if you are not on the channel by subscribing to it, you can do so, and say yes if you want to see FOMC live, which will be special event to see that where the market is heading during the FOMC. So coming up FOMC later this week on Thursday, that means in Wednesday in NY session, followed by Friday, a big day, also quite a few news on euro, dollar, as well as CAD. So, and then we'll see that coming later, FOMC. Now, with the NFP, with FOMC, the market is going to start to be volatile pretty strongly later this week. So, we'll be, yes, thank you, welcome. Now, this week, if we look at the market, is gonna be starting today. The volume coming in the market, that's the best thing that we can look at in the market to see that it's a moving market, right? And the directional bias is the first thing that you want to see in this market when there's FOMC. If you look at the daily chart, that you can see the market on this daily time frame. This is the daily price action where the market is maintaining this series of lower high here. And with that series of lower high, the market has made its move back below with a series of lower high, quite a few daily bearish price action in that area. And with the daily price action, we can see the market here is the gap open in that zone we can see on gold. Now with that gap open, as today's market has shown a bearish move in that area, the price potential to continue to drop back down here to this support level. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, that you can see this market from the intraday perspective, which is showing that the market is bearish here in that area, which is showing up to be continue to drop in that market to create a new lower low in that area. So if we look at this trend line, which is the lower time frame trend line here in this market, where the price was maintaining this series of lower high here, and in that maintenance of this series of lower high on gold, just previous hour, that you can see the market has broken the trend line to the upside, approaching this key level at 4108. And as the market is approaching that 4108 level, which is could be market is breaking that high and then continue to drop back down here to this support level in that area. So that is where that you can see the price to reach that level and then retest, reject back again here in that area to create a new lower low in this market. So expecting an initial upside move to pull back some of the zone that on the daily the market has dropped so far, right? And also if you look at the upcoming event, which is, as a trader, it is very important that we look at both that higher time frame and the lower time frame, and also events are catalyst, right? What is a catalyst? It's very important, guys. If you can combine fundamental aspect of trading with the technical aspect, right? That's where you started to see how the market might do over time, because that is where the real move they can predict in the market, looking at the fundamental aspect of trading with the technical aspect. Now, how can you combine that fundamental? There is always, you see, a correlationship between what's coming up in the calendar along with how the market is moving, and that's not, you won't find it anywhere, guys. I'm telling you, this gonna change you trading completely. Either you are trading stock, you are trading Forex currency, a gold, anything that you are trading, that's gonna change your perception completely. So this information is very, very important, because these are observational knowledge that you can use in any kind of investment or trading setup. So how can you look at, there is always a relationship between this, what's coming up, and also how the market is moving, and you can predict the market with an incredibly high accuracy based on those schedule or the calendar coming in the market. So if you look at here, you can see this is a gold market, right? Now look at the daily chart. Okay, so if you look at the daily market, how do you see that series of lower high, right, on the daily time frame, and relate it with the calendar when the time is coming. If you look at the calendar, okay, so on Thursday 30th of October, right, this is where we see the FOMC, right, which is nearly 2 days ahead from now, excluding today. If we look at, so if you look at the current market structure on gold, what do you see? It's maintaining a series of lower high. So what the market potentially be heading back here in this area is for this price to possibly to break from this structure, and as FOMC coming, there will be volume in the market, and that will enforce, or that will relate that market to move in the against the direction of the trend with a bigger impulse here in that area on gold that you can see. And therefore, if we look at this market here, okay, so if you look at this market where the market structure is showing that the price to break below here, right, and if we see that there is a stronger bearish price action, that's the sign that the market is preparing for a deeper breakdown with the FOMC and potentially with the NFP to reverse again back in the direction of the major trend. So that being said, if we look at the weekly, here is where there is a weekly price in the weekly bearish and gold. Now today's market, if you look at the first day of trading week, open with a gap and initially has shown the lower shadow retest. Now this market has two-way possibility to move, either to break up or break below here down, as there is an initial drop in that market. Today's bias so far, we are looking at this downtrend continuation. As if you look at here, you can see the market is still maintaining that downtrending market structure in this lower time frame, and the trend line is here. If you look at the 1 hour perspective, there is a bearish channel that the market is moving in this area here on gold, and that could be the potential move that we can expect, initially bouncing off that level, testing the daily high, and then to return again back below. So from the daily high, we can look at around 700 800 pip drop to this daily support level. And as this is currently in a range, but it's a bigger range, so it's not a one candle range. The biggest problem to trading the range when it is one candle range, especially on the lower time frame, it's a bigger range, so we still can trade from the resistance to the support whenever the market is approaching those kind of level here in that area. I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day in this live session. So as well as regular trade analysis being posted in the channel for the members to be able to access all of them, the latest update in the market. Now here is the 15-minute chart on gold. We can see that with this breakup trend line, the market on a consolidation. This is a smaller consolidation that we can see on gold. Now in that consolidation, the price to possibly to break the high and to trend that to this daily resistance, and this is what looking to see the market to test and potentially to reject back again, which is highly likely. We could see that rejection. If you look at why we can expect the market to test that 4108 level. If you look at this doji here that you can see, this is a pretty much a stronger doji, right, which is a big one in this market on gold. And with that bigger doji that you can see here, this is a pretty stronger. Now this long wick candle has a very important information. It has a stronger attribute to that doji. It's a big long wick doji on gold. Now in that doji, if we look at here, we can see that there is an ATR. This is what always I talk about. The ATR is very important, because when you see that such a bigger candle, you need to pay attention. Right? Attention is very important, especially in trading. Right? You'll see that all information is not necessary, but the vital information is where you need to pay attention. Right? And trading is pretty random. You'll see that a lot of candlestick pattern, a lot of move. Okay. For example, it's not necessary to pay much attention to this green candle here, the smaller candle, but this one is quite significant. This is more than 2.5 ATR candle. Now, what is the important information that you can look at with this candle? This candle will tell you a story. Every candle has a story behind it. If you look at this candle here, okay, this one, this candle is more than 2.5 ATR candle. And the story behind this candle is that, see how the candle has formed, which is a long wick candle with a pretty long rejection from this support level here in that market, if you look at it. And with that rejection, this candle, if you look at that rejection, represents there is a strong buying pressure in that time period, right? And when you see that, especially such a bigger ATR candle with a long wick rejection, that means in this whole time zone, in this 15 minutes, the market dropped to that level, and that has tested this order block. And from that order block, the market has boom, bounced back up, closed in that level, crossed that high again, drop, extended back below to this long wick candle. Okay, now as the market has extended back below to this long wick candle here in that area, if you look at it, now as the market has broken back below to this extended, all right, from this long wick doji, and the market again bounced off that level in that zone, it is a possibility that the market to cross that high again. And that is where the selling pressure comes, because this zone is a buyer's area. The market is overextended below. That means here is a high level of demand for this instrument, and that's the market the buyers bought. Once the price crossed that high here, which is because there was a strong selling from that level, again there is a possibility for another sell here. And that's how we can look at the bigger ATR candle, especially if you see that bigger ATR candle has overextended, you can expect another rejection again from those levels. Yes, welcome. With the consolidation in the 15 minutes time frame, where is the price heading? Okay, so we are looking at that 15 minutes consolidation, right? Now the price, if you look at this 15 minutes consolidation that you can see, and there is a stronger breakout followed by a smaller consolidation here, and the price is heading back here potentially to cross that up. Now anything you could see the market is still can drop again for another rejection back here, because already the market has broken the swing high here, already the market has broken the trend line, so you can expect it still to drop down here and then continue to drop back below. But if the market, as there is one stronger bounce If it managed to break one more flight to the upside and breaking that daily high, that is where you can expect this market to continue to drop down here in that support level. And that's what we're looking at in this market, for to see the price to retest and then reject back again to create a new lower low in this market. In the meantime, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream and also join the Telegram. You can find link below this video for regular update, education, as well as analysis that I'm posting every day in this channel to get access to all of them directly on your fingertip. There is a drop back below here in this support level that you can see in this market, and that is where we can see the market here in that area. The price is approaching that level, and lower time frame price action showing up that the market to potentially break below. The London session will decide the direction of the price now. Yes, the sessions are very important if we look at, and in those areas that you can see where there is a session. Okay, now as the market, the technical aspect that if we look at today's price open on the daily time frame, if you look at where there is a daily bear candle right now, from the intraday perspective here, the market structure is still showing that there is a possibility for downside. Now you can see the price has just crossed that session's high. It's started to feel that previous session's long wick here in that area, and because the market is feeling that previous session's long wick here in that area, we might see the market to break that low here to create a new lower low in this market. And that's where the market structure that you can see the price cross that high, and we can see the price to continue to trend back down here to this support level to create a new lower low. So there is a, currently we can see there is a local break below here, and if you look at the daily, we can see the market open with this daily gap, and the price started to drop down here in this area. And because the market is dropping down here in this area, there is a possibility for this market to break below, potentially to create a new lower low in this market. That's what we're looking at here, for this price to come back here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. This is where there is a bearish price action here that you can see at the moment, and once we confirm the market prepare, if you look at the 4-hour high here, that you can see the market has tested this high here. And once you confirm the market is potentially to fill that long wick, potentially to break that low here, we can look for that selling pressure here in that market. All right, so as you can see the price after this break below in that area, the consolidation, we could see that the market to retest the daily high here, or we can expect another wave of drop. The price action here in this zone, if you look at, not showing a very stronger bullish confluence, right? It's still showing up that the market in a sideways, still not showing a stronger bullish confluence. That means 4-hour resistance is crucial here. The market still come back down here below to this 4054 level, and that's a very high probability area that you can look at in this market for this price to drop back below. If you look at here, you can see there is a doji. Now if the market is not being able to cross this high here, not being able to cross that 4084 level, we will be looking at selling opportunity in the market. And are you guys ready for that sell opportunity? What's your opinion on that? Do you think gold is going to drop to that order block again? There's an order block here at 4064 level. Now here we see there is a long wick doji, right? Big long wick, and then the market long wick, There is where the market, you look at, there is a bearish price action that you can see here in that area, and 15 minutes price action with a bearish doji here. Therefore, the way market structure has formed here, the possibility for dropping down back below here is higher. So we may be able to find an entry shortly for this potential drop down. There is a lower time frame FVG in this area. So we'll be using the pending order for this potential drop in this market, as we could see the market to drop down back below to this support level. We are starting our first trade of the day with around 71 pip stop loss for this potential drop to this order block here in that market. It's gonna be a sell stop, right? So we are not selling by market, guys. Make sure that you also maintain that risk management. We are using a sell stop here in that market on gold. We might get a trigger here, and expecting a downward move here, and we place the pending order, which is a sell stop. Expecting this market to break that low here, as there is a bigger fair value gap in that area, and if the market dropped that below, which we could see that potential break below for another wave of drop here, as there is a bigger fair value gap in that area here in this market. So 1 hour chart here that you can see there is a bearish move. We open short-term potential sell here for this drop back below, as there is a rejection from this higher price in this market. So we place that order here. If the market break that low, we will be on the trade for this potential drop down here in this market. So it's a sell stop and it's a pending order. So sell stop at 4072.93 and stop loss at 4079.90, and TP target we set at that level. We can adjust based on the current price action. So the TP target we set at 4064. And the market is, in fact, if you look at here, you can see it's breaking that low here, potentially to trend back down here to this low to create a new lower low in this market. We see some downside movement, and we might get a trigger here, and if the market break this support, we could see that potential drop further down here to fill that intraday long wick that we can see on the 4-hour time frame. And there's a possibility for this drop here back below to fill that order block in that area on the lower time frame on gold here in this market. Okay, so you see the break, we got it in the trade, we are on the trade and expecting it to drop down here. Want to catch some peep here, ready to catch some peep for this move back below here in that market. And there is we are on the trade now. Awesome, breaking that low, the first trade of the day and also first trade of the week, and want to see that it's cracking back below here to create a new lower low in this market, where there is a potentially for an imbalance that to be tested here in that market. And that's what we want to see, guys, that break below, and boom, we are now up on this trade for nearly to 18 pip, expecting to drop down here. And as soon as we will be moving enough below, as soon as I'm taking profit, I'll give a shout out here to know that, to tell you that, guys, I'm going out with the trade because we will not be running too long. As the market is breaking below, we want to take the maximum number of pip possible for this move, and then we will be out with the profit as soon as we see the market has moved enough. We are up on this trade nearly to, come on, it's trying to move up for a pullback, and it's on a very crucial level. There is a possibility for that rejection down here. And so this 1 minute candlestick pattern that you can see, it's a pretty long doji. Awesome, there is a doji formation here, and that expecting to break below, and it's breaking, trying to break out here. There is still possibility for downside here. I'm still holding on to that market for this possible drop down here back below in this market. So 1 minute expecting another long wick doji here. Now, looking at this candlestick pattern that we can see currently, this is 15 minutes price action, which is still showing that the possibility for another bearish candlestick pattern formation here. And as the market, the 15 minutes candle closing as a bear candle in that area on gold, and wanting to see the market to come down here to fill that zone, possibly to break that low, continue to drop here back down to create a new lower low in this market. Where, as you can see, the market is, there is a long wick doji here, and the price tested the 10 EMA, where it's maintaining this series of lower high and lower low, and expecting it to break that swing low. The market is maintaining the downtrend and expecting the market to trend back down here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. The key here is to wait for the market trend continuation. Guys, we see that there's a downtrend continuation, and that's what we are waiting for, the market to create a potentially new lower low here in that market. And that's what we need to see. The market has shown up its hand, and as we see multiple liquidity sweep, want to see the price has managed to break that low here to create a new lower low here in that market. So the 5 minutes price action is another doji formation here. I'm expecting that to fill that long wick. And there's a, if you look at the 5 minutes, this is a massive fair value gap here in that market. And would like to see the market to potentially continue to drop back down here to this fair value gap. So looking at the 15 minutes candle close that you can see, this is a pretty bearish candle close that you can see on the 15 minutes. And with that break below to that, our TP target at 4064, right? And that's an order block here. Wanna see the market to fill that long wick. Are you guys with me? Say yes in the live chat if you're running this trade with me. Awesome. Cool. And expecting a new lower low. So there is a possibility for a break below here in that market. And that is what I want to see the price to drop down here to come back to that order block, to come back to this new lower low formation here in that market. So 1 minute chart here also showing up to be potentially downside here in that market. And we see that the price is maintaining this series of lower high here, which could bring that market back below in that area here in this market. This is where there is another bear candle, and expecting it to trend continue to create a potentially new lower low in this market here on gold. Awesome. Want to see that bearish trend continuation? I'm still holding on to that. I'm still expecting this market to trend down here back below to create a new lower low in this market. Okay, looking at the 5 minute chart, that you can see the market is trying to break that high again, and and you want to see the market being able to break that low. Okay, so there is another rejection that expecting on the lower time frame here, guys. This is where there is another liquidity sweep here, and would like to see the market is getting that enough rejection from this level for this move back below to create a new lower low without creating a reversal pattern, rather creating a long wick doji on the lower time frame here on the 1 minute chart, that you can see the market has formed pretty long rejection here, and that is what I'm expecting, the market to create a new lower low here in that market. And that's what you can see, the market is maintaining this series of lower high, and we can see the price is approaching that low to create a new lower low here in that market. You see there is a bearish rejection on the 5 minutes candle close with a bearish rejection candle here in that market, and that's what you can see, the market is breaking that low, and we are up and want to keep that up here to, if you look at 20 pip up in that market, and wanting to see the market to continue to trend back below here to create a new lower low in this market. This is where I would like to see the price to, if you guys look at, to create a new lower low. Breaking that swing low can give us a good move in that direction, which is expecting to remain downside here. And as if you look at the 5 minutes, you can see there is a liquidity sweep, and this is a massive FVG, guys, an imbalance in the market, and want to take that move back below here in that area to create a new lower low in this market. This is where you can see nearly 225 pip up with this trade, and want to take that move back below to that direction to create a new lower low that is moving in that direction, and would like to see that the market to give us further downside. 41 pip up nearly, 42 pip, 44 pip, 50 pip, and I'm going out with this current profit running on gold for with nearly to 60 pip on this move, and taking the profit right now. First trade on gold taken, and I have shared the same trade in the premium group. Smash the like button now, say yes if you've taken the profit here, and we would like to take the next move very soon, short after. It's not the end, it's just the beginning. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. I have closed the position. You guys probably have heard the sound. That's good to see that we are beginning another big trading week, starting with this one, and we taken, that's the massive move for us. With especially the first day, we take hundreds of pip in our trade, but now just nearly to 50 pip. It's the beginning of the day in this live session with all of you guys together. So yes, in the live chat that if you had taken, how many of you said taken or have seen that trade has been executed? Join the Telegram here for more updated education, and also visit the website www.forextradingwizard.com to learn the best strategy with me every single day to learn and grow as a trader. It's on a downside. It may continue to drop here back below to the support level to create a new lower low in this market. Done, profit taken, right? Yes, it is. We started, and that's what, this is the beginning of the week, and we have more time coming up, as this week is pretty volatile. the market you can predict with a very high accuracy as long as you understand the market structure. If you guys look at, you remember when we begin the session, this is what we discussed, that the market in that area where there's a consolidation in this area, right? With this move here, the market was in a consolidation, and with that consolidation, the price to potentially break that high or break below. Now, we were flexible in that direction, right? This is what I discussed, that in trading, you have to be very flexible in your decision. At any point, you might need to change your directional bias. That's the key, guys. That's the best way to trade the market. Always look at that to remain always flexible to change your trading decision when needed. Agree with me? Now, to understand the move, you can see it's still moving. It could continue to drop further back below here in that market, right? So to understand that, how we can look at the market to see how the price potentially creating this movement here in that market. So looking at this zone here, guys, this is 1 minute chart, right? To predict this kind of movement, that either this market will be bearish here or bullish here, some very important fundamental aspect that we need to look at. What did I look at? Even the trade execution was fast, but there is something that you can always pay attention. And as I mentioned earlier, the attention is the key. Where you pay attention, energy flows. If you can control your attention, if you know how to control your attention, you can have anything in your life and you can take any direction you want to go. Controlling attention is the rarest thing that one can ever do. If you can do that, you can become a trader, become anyone. Control your attention, nothing else. Now, if you look at this market, you see that here there's a series of lower high. All right. Now, in that series of lower high, there is a very important clue here that you can see. Okay. Series of lower high. Now, why it is so important? The reason is this market in that zone. If you look at, how do you predict a market? How do you see the direction before it happens from those information? When you see that the market is maintaining this series of lower high, that means there is a bounce and then dip, bounce back to the trend line and then dip, bounce back to the trend line and then dip, bounce back to the trend line and then dip. So that means whenever it is having a dip, that means new lower low, it goes back to the high here to the trend line, and in that high it respect the previous high, previous lower high. That means it in this whole move it hasn't been broken that swing high here, right? So if we draw those levels, look at this one here, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and then this is a very simple strategy, right? If you look at now, this high respected by this, respected by this, respected by this, respected by this, right? And then what happened here? See that for the first time in that whole move, the market has broken that swing high, and then it's not enough because it still can continue to trend. What other factors you need to look at that this swing high break is in fact potentially to reverse? Look at that consolidation. It's not a very good bullish impulse from that level. That's where the market reversed. We saw the trend continuation, retest, getting rejected, and you got in the trade. Smash the like button now. That's the simplest way to read the market, to know that where the market is potentially be heading. And once you know that, you can trade in the same way anything that you want to see. We are also have list here on dollar yen. The market is in a bullish trend and the similar kind of pattern. If you look at, you can see series of higher low in an uptrend dollar yen. We will be waiting for break from this trend line and then wait for the reversal confirmation back above. That's gonna give it a momentum back above again. We'll be more discussing in later analysis as well as in trade setup that we are doing every single day. Yes, if you guys, every trade that I'm opening, every trade I'm going to share in the premium group as well, and every trade that is opening with proper strategy, trade setup, as well as entry, stop loss, and take profit target is being shared in the premium group. We had an incredible gain. If you guys looked at now the same trade that we have opened just now, we have shared in the premium group with full explanation of the strategy, and we take profit with the trade. And previous week, if you guys looked at, we had 805 pip just net gain the past week, and week before it's on and on. Now the way we can enhance our trading is by remaining profitable, right? If you're not profitable, you're not gonna be able to access the long-term profitability, or if you don't hone your skill as a trader. So if you look at here, this is some of the past week's journal in our signal, right? So all those trade with entry, stop loss, and take profit target, and have secured all of them. Now if you are wanting to access to learn my strategy, yeah, you can get access to everything in the academy. There's a link below this video. You can visit the website www.forextradingwizard.com, or alternatively join the Telegram. You can find link below this video for more updated promotion as well as education that I am posting every day in this channel. You can access the free Telegram link below this video, where you can also have updated education that I am posting every day. Now, the trade setup that you can see here is still gold is maintaining the downtrend. Now, there is a very interesting price action. You can see there is a long wick doji, strong rejection. There's another long wick doji, strong rejection. The market is here maintaining that downtrending move here that you can see on gold. Now, finding a directional bias, that is where you can see that all the time high probability trade setup, especially when you know that directionally correct. Because even if you don't want to have a bigger move, if you want to take a smaller move, still when you are correct directionally, you can close your trade in profit, right? That's where the secret is. Closing a trade in profit, that can give you much more better understanding about the market structure. And also when you close the trade with bigger profit, you have always a faith on your strategy, because when you can build confidence on your strategy, you are always ahead in your trading. Now, education is key, and that's why I do conduct regular Zoom classes in the academy to give all the tricks and the techniques that I'm trading every single day. Now the trade was open. If you look at entry, stop loss, and take profit target, and for those who are at work or not being able to directly join this live session or anywhere, this is where you can access the exclusive trade with entry and stop loss. The reason what is important for a trader is to be able to trade before you learn it. Okay, if you want to learn trading, you have to be able to open position, you have to be able to trade by yourself. That's the secret of becoming profitable trader, right? And every tool that I use also open for the members, and that's the main reason. Our goal here is to help the traders to gain financial freedom. That I see that many traders are really willing to get to that point where they don't have to worry about anything. If you look at some of the trade has shown according to our indicator in that area that a bigger win. That's what I always focus on, and every trade that I open also I'm sharing in the group to show you that how you can gain the bigger win. Okay, so bigger win is the secret. Some of the trade was open recently. If you look at, I've already shared many of them based on the multiple time frame analysis, multiple time frame entry, smaller loss, bigger win. That's the secret. You can't trade without having a losing trade. If someone is tell you that it will never lose, that's not right. Okay, the secret is very smaller loss, bigger win, having a stop loss, and then taking the bigger win. That will keep you always in the ahead in the game of trading. And that's where you can gain confidence on your trading, because once you are fully and you understood the fully how to do the risk management, how to do the lot sizing, how to trade based on strategies, you're gonna always remain profitable no matter how the market is doing. Either the market is dropping or the market is rising. And use the lot size calculator always, so that you have the lot size calculated based on your risk per trade. Now, looking at that zone here that you can see, the trend line here on gold that the trade was open, there is another breakout here and is still maintaining the downtrend, and that means we are looking at here in that area. We are looking at here in that area, and if you look at the market is now looking at 40, potentially 57, which is pretty sharp drop here in that market. Finding a move is important to see that, in fact, how the market is potentially reacting to certain level. Becoming a trader is freedom. You only need a laptop or a PC and a skill set, right? When you are using the signal in the group, we have a very high win rate. Guys, make sure that if you don't have the lot size calculator, you can ask the admin. When you are using the signal, always use exactly the same stop loss as given. Don't move it if it isn't instructed, because every trade is given with proper instruction how to use the stop loss, take profit target, and that's how you can remain in control of your trading account while also you are learning and growing as a trader. As we are starting with the week, we have a big move ahead this week later. Are you ready for it? Pretty big move coming as due to the FOMC as well as NFP. You're looking for further entry opportunity. As you can see, the market is in this area from a double bottom, and lower time frame here is still the market is showing up to be potentially to be bearish here. Price still didn't test the order block here. There is a possibility for further break, or if you look at the daily chart, it's a downtrend. Once the market crossed the daily low here, could bounce off that level here to create a new higher high in that market. In the meantime, traders, if you enjoy this live session, make sure you like this stream, and also don't forget to subscribe. Join the Telegram. You can find link below this video for regular update as well as many other promotions that we are using to take in the mentorship in the academy. As where you are in the mentorship, you can access every trade that I'm opening with the proper explanation of each trading strategy, that how it was open, and also you can access all my trading tools, indicators, mentorship, courses, and everything that is available for the members to learn and grow as a trader. Now we are looking at that level. If you look at, this is where there is a series of lower high that you can see the market is maintaining on the lower time frame, and from that series of lower high, expecting that this market to potentially to trend and possibly to back down here to this support level in this market. And with the bearish price action here in that area, if you look at the 1 hour perspective, also it's showing the downtrend from the 4 hour as well, showing the downtrend. From the 4 hour, the market has crossed this high. If you look at the prices crossed this previous session's high here, created this bearish engulfer here, and that could bring the market to back below to this support level here in that market, and could continue to drop back below even further low here to this support level. Now, as the market trend continues here to this support level, if you look at from this high here, it is in a continuation of this downtrend, and what we can expect here that the market to pull back and then to continue to drop back to this support level, and that trend continuation back here potentially to break that swing low is higher. Now if you look at the daily chart, we can see the market is maintaining this downtrend here to create a new lower low, as today's low here at 4054, and we are expecting that this market to break further below here to create a new lower low in this market. So looking at the weekly chart here, you can see the market open with a gap and the price didn't test the upper shadow of this weekly price action, showing that stronger bearish pressure, and that could bring the market back below here to this support level here on gold to create a new lower low. So the 4-hour perspective here, the market has crossed this dodges high, and there is a rejection here in that market that you can see that could bring the market to break down here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. And that's what we're waiting to see, the price to cross that low, creating a lower low, and then to come back here to this support level where there is quite a few long week candlestick pattern here in that market. Now, as the market trend continues here, we can look for further setup once the market managed to break this any of the swing high here, and then continuing to trend back again to this support level in that area. And this is where there is a triple, we see there is a consolidation, and every time the market is breaking that consolidation above is getting the rejection. So we could see that further trend continuation here back below in this market. The possibility for this market to drop back below this swing low is higher, as we see the market is maintaining this liquidity sweep drop down and breaking that low here to this support level to create a new lower low in this market. And that's a bearish setup coming up in this market, and we will be looking at as soon as we find further entry opportunity in this market to take it trading to the next level for an entry. I'm coming on live again, guys, in just a matter of 3 hours for trading in NY session. If you are really passionate about trading and you want to take it trading to the next level, make sure you join there. Stick to the channel by subscribing to the channel. I'll see you there, guys, again in 3 hours time. In the meantime, any trade coming, also I'm sharing the premium group, so if you are not on the premium group, also you can check out the website link below this video where you can access every trade that I'm opening to become a consistently profitable professional trader. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in the next live session coming very shortly.